I'm Joanne from Magpies Cottage.
I'm Amy.
We're here from Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin.
Yes, where it's nice and warm. Windy though. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Almost got blown away coming out here.
It was still wet and rainy when I got here, so I haven't enjoyed any warm weather yet.
It's warm.
Okay.
Although I think we're supposed to get one of those fronts to come through, so you have no idea when the warm is going to end and it's going to drop 20 degrees in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's still nice out.
Yep. And those storms came in the middle of the night. Oh my God, were they loud? Did you hear them?
Not a peep.
Oh, they beat on my windows so hard, it woke me up.
Oh my gosh. No, I didn't hear a thing.
And nothing usually hits those windows because I got those big
Yeah, the
eaves.
eaves. Yeah.
Nothing usually hits my windows in the bedroom.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was...
Did not hear a thing. I'll have to ask Ron if he heard anything last night. I didn't hear
Yeah.
anything. I mean, the dogs didn't even make noise.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did make noise, and I literally slept right through it. I had a long day yesterday, so I was really tired last night.
Okay.
Because I worked at the voting polls.
Oh, okay.
I was up by 6. Started working 6:45, and didn't leave the polls till 8:30.
Oh.
So, yeah, long day.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. And it was nice to see the entire process.
Oh, okay.
You know, from opening the polls and how you set up the machines to what you do for different problems that might come up with, you know, a ballot, to handling absentees. I mean, all of it. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and I will definitely do it again.
Good.
Yeah. No, I could see myself becoming a lot more involved in elections in the sense of just the whole, just working the polls and that stuff.
Sure.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
enjoyed every minute of
Good.
it.
Good.
So, you're wearing something lovely, so we have to point it out.
My almost FOs are FOs.
Yes.
So I went home and right away I steeked this. That went so easy. Because I had the button bands on, and I just went and I zigzagged inside that, and then cut it, zip zap done, and then I sewed some ribbon in. The other ribbon I had in was stiffer. I just tried something because it was in the house, and it made ripples. I had little bumps all down here.
Oh my.
So I was like, oh no, took that out, got this, and I sewed it by machine, which took a lot longer to take out, because the side where I sewed it by hand, that you just cut it and you can rip the whole thing in one quick thing.
Sure.
But by machine, you got to cut every single stitch. Now it's by hand on both sides.
Okay. So this edge here, I want to look at this one. What edge did you put on there? It looks like you have an I-cord.
I went and put an I-cord after the fact.
Oh.
Didn't I? Oh, no, wait. No, that was that sweater. This one, I did an I-cord bind off.
Okay. Well, that would make sense.
Is that 2 stitches or 3?
Looks like 3.
I think it is. Sometimes I do a 2-stitch I-cord, which is really small, but it kind of matches the Chinese waitress cast-on. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah, the steeking process was really easy. No problems. Sewed my buttons on. They're not weighing anything down too much. So I'll stand up so you can get a little bit better look.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So here it is. And it's maybe a little bit big because I started it 2 years ago, because that was from before I had my hand surgery. So it's a little bit big.
But it lays nice.
It does.
You know?
And I can always throw it in the washer and dryer and shrink it a little.
Yeah.
It can't get any softer. This yarn is just so soft.
I know.
So, yeah. I got some of the buttons buttoned, but there it is.
It's so pretty. I just love it.
And it's called Trek, from the Strange Brew book from Tin Can Knits.
That is a great book.
Yeah, because you can use it as a recipe book.
Yeah.
For so many things.
Oh my gosh, yes. You can.
Hats and sweaters.
Yes, and the thing is, it gives you, all the sweaters in there are knit in the round. And so, you know, they're the round yoke. And there's multiple charts, multiple ways of doing things. But then they give you directions on how to steek them.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, that is a great book.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, love, love colorwork sweaters.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I've knit a couple of them now.
Yeah.
And I'll keep doing it. Yeah.
And they recommend in the book to do a hat to sample your color work and your gauge swatch. So they have the hat pattern in there too.
Yeah, and you know, that's so clever of just using the hat. I mean, then you're not, you know, you're doing the ribbing, you're doing the color work, and you'll also, you know, be able to do some a stockinette to get that gauge. So you can measure your gauge. I mean, finding, and then you block it, and you know, it's useful. It's a way of making a swatch very useful.
Yeah, because some people have to go up a needle size in their color work. I never have.
Me neither.
Some people have to.
Yeah,
so
I've
then
seen
they
that.
would learn that. I mean, they would find that out making the hat right away.
Yes, and you can see how your colors play together, the yarns play together. The other way I've seen people do it, and I don't necessarily agree with this one. I've never tried it, but it could be done. I could see how it would work. Knit your sleeves.
Oh.
If you're doing a bottom up.
That's what this one, I did the sleeves first.
Yeah, you could use your sleeves as your gauge swatch. And that works quite well too.
Yeah, I have another thing to talk about when we get to whips and gauge swatches though too.
Okay.
So, but I have another FO that was an almost FO. I put the zipper in.
Now.
And I mean, I spent a whole 5 minutes putting this zipper in. I just put the zipper down, put my knitting on top of it, took the walking foot, went zip, and it was done.
I gotta learn how to use my walking foot, for heaven's sakes.
Look, I mean, I used to like put tissue paper on and everything. Yeah, you don't need any of that. I just used the walking foot, went zip, and went right down.
And you went in, you stitched into the side cord.
Well, I tried to go on the side of it, you know, and it's not perfectly straight, but
nobody knows.
It looks pretty good.
It looks great.
And I hope you can all see the zipper. Yeah, so I did order online a 31-inch zipper.
Well, that way, so you got the exact length you needed.
Yeah. So, well, it's a little short, but I wanted it shorter rather than
I wouldn't
longer.
want it all the way up at my neck like that.
That's what I was afraid of too.
I wouldn't want it there.
I gotta cut an end yet.
I see that.
But yeah, so that's all in, zips in, ready to wear, perfect time of season.
Nice pockets.
Can hold your phone. So that's the timber, and it's made with Encore worsted tweed.
That really is a nice yarn.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it for a pullover, because kind of the acrylic you sweat.
I would agree.
So, but for a cardigan,
why not?
That's what you want. You want it to be a little more, whatever, holding everything in. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm very happy with it.
Wow. Two beautiful quick.
Oh, I got 3.
Oh, no.
I finished the hat, too. I haven't blocked it, but you're not going to see it blocked. So, yeah, it's just a 2x2 ribbed hat. And I made it like 10 inches before I decreased, so I could have a nice, I like a nice 3-inch cuff, you know? So I guess I could put it on.
Is it for you?
Nope. It's for my brother-in-law.
Very nice.
Just a plain old hat.
Perfect guy hat.
Yeah. Yep. Now that's all my FOs.
Well, I have a bag full.
Do you?
I do.
It must be the episode of FOs.
FOs. Okay, so I am multi-crafting this week.
Good.
I had to make a hat for Cora to go to Heritage School with her class. She goes next week. And so they had to dress 1870. And so I made her a prairie bonnet.
Yeah,
yeah.
very nice.
She tried it on. It fits perfect. So
excellent.
This was so funny. The brim here has to have heavy duty interfacing, right? Who has heavy duty interfacing in their stash? I did.
Good.
And the reason is I used heavy duty on face masks.
Oh.
Otherwise, I would not have had heavy duty in my stash. But yeah, it turned out just so nice. I'm very happy with it.
Excellent.
FO1.
Okay.
And then FO2, I finally, since I had the sewing machine out and I was sewing, I finally hemmed my towels. Now I made a set of 2 towels. I wove these. And it is a summer and winter pattern. So you can kind of see the summer and the winter, they are opposites of each other. So that would be the other side. So it makes for summer and winter is a very reversible pattern. And I am very just tickled pink with the way they came out.
They're beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm apprehensive about hanging these in my kitchen. Somebody's gonna wipe out a greasy frying pan or something on there.
Oh, yeah.
I love them. I'm so happy with them. But so yeah. So
do you have a decorative towel rack at all in your kitchen?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. So it was a Bauhaus pattern from mid-century modern kind of look. But it's asymmetrical, and I was able to play with the summer and the winter and making the different size blocks. So from a weaving point of view, this was a really, really fun weave.
Good.
And then I made 2, but I just grabbed 1 to bring it along. I have to take them to weaving next week and show them off.
Sure.
And let's see. Oh, and then the pattern that pretty much everybody's raving about.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my Sophie. It looks a little wrinkly because I wore it and it was crunched. But this is my Sophie scarf. So this is how you wear a Sophie scarf. Like that. Or you can do this. Or you can tie them. It's just a little neckerchief kind of thing.
I think you moved over. Do you want to put yourself back in frame a little? There. Okay.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
There. Okay. I think I moved so we could see your sweater.
Yeah.
That's got to be it. Anyways,
Yep.
So this is my Sophie.
Cool.
And this was knit out of that yarn that I got out at Stitches. I used a half a skein of fingering.
Okay.
Now, and I knit this at a tighter gauge because I was using fingering. The original Sophie calls for 1 skein of DK. Which would be about a half a skein, yardage-wise, of fingering. So that all makes sense. So I didn't necessarily use more yarn, but I did have more rows. So, I think I knitted on a much smaller needle.
Oh, sure. The needle for the yarn.
So I'm real happy with the way it came out, though.
Good.
Kind of funky striping, that's true, but it was a variegated yarn. What are you going to have? Striped.
Right.
So, finished Sophie, and I wore this Sunday. So it was like kind of fun wearing it. And I love the I-cord edges on it. I think I-cord edges are amazing.
Yeah.
And then, okay, fresh, introducing on Ravelry. Lisa introduced this today.
Oh, okay.
So it's called Simply Chic. And it is an asymmetrical shawl that uses many, if not all, of the stitch patterns from her mystery knit along. So mine is kind of subtle color-wise. All right, if you would have had more contrasts, but it's muted. So, but like here's the ribbing, this part here's the ribbing, that was in one of the clues for sure. This bricks are, let's see, this is the one, let me think, yeah, this has those slip stitches. I know the plaid is in there. So I couldn't show this because it was in the middle of the mystery.
Right.
And I was not gonna show what Lisa was doing in the mystery in the shawl. The shawl's not a mystery, and it's all out. So she introed, the mystery's done now. She introed this shawl today. And so it just came out. So that means that at least for a couple of, maybe a week or so, you can probably get this pattern dirt cheap. And I think it was a lot of fun to knit. It calls for 6 colors, I believe. Yes, 6 colors. And 2 light, 2 dark, 2 medium. And it was mini skeins, I think 90 yard or so, a 20 gram mini will do.
Okay. This must have looked horrendous when it was not blocked.
It was awful.
There is a lot of long slip stitches, and just imagine that not blocked, you know, it would be all scrunched up and look like heck.
It did.
But there's a lot of long ones in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
She had a lot of, used that quite a bit
that
this time.
blocking would have really, really changed this one.
Yeah, it did. It did. But yeah, it was a fun knit.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And, you know, every color, every you know, pattern change, you got something new going on. And so it certainly is engaging in that respect.
Good.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's my bag's empty.
Okay.
So, yeah, I didn't, I don't have too many other things that I finished because I've had long-term projects.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things I've been doing a lot of lately is long-term things. And that's hard because, you know what? I need palette cleansers in between things. So
well, that Sophie scarf had to be one.
that was definitely a palette cleanser. My Stitch and Time blanket, I'll, you know, work on a couple sections on that as a palette cleanser. I'll do a baby hat for a palette cleanser. I mean, I do things like that in between just to, like, okay, I gotta be done with something now.
Yeah.
So I'm currently working on another test for Lisa. This one's a DK.
Okay.
And it's her very first DK shawl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not going to show that one till it's done.
Right. Well, if it's a test, I see why.
You know, usually she's pretty good. You know, I'll say, hey, you know, I'll text her and say, hey, we're podcasting. Can I show it? And she's always happy about it. So, I mean, and she doesn't, the only time that she really has any restrictions would be the mystery knit-alongs.
Okay.
But yeah, no, she's really good. I could have probably have just let her know I was showing it and she'd have been fine with it.
Okay.
I know the pattern's not due out till May. So I got a couple weeks. I'm about a little better than half done.
Okay. All right. What am I working on? At home, one of the things I've been working on is my soundtrack. That's been going on.
Oh my God. She's going to have a whole wardrobe of new sweaters.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty.
Thank you. I think I showed this when I was just working on the yoke.
Sure.
And I got one sleeve done. I got the body almost done. I kind of put the body on hold because I got down to having 4 balls. They're little 50-gram balls. And so then I made a sleeve. And then I got to about here, and then I needed this second ball. So I did this little bit with the second ball. And so I figured, well, whatever was left with that, I can use in the body. And that's how far the body is. Right now, I put that in there. So now I started this sleeve. And when I finish and have that little better than a half a ball, I figured I can go 3/4 of as long as I did for this.
Okay.
This was 18 rows with the leftover ball.
Okay.
So with ribbing, I figured I can go 12 rows.
Probably.
Because it takes a little more to do the ribbing because of flipping the yarn front and back.
Right.
So yeah, so then I'll probably use every last drop of this yarn. Yeah, so that's the soundtrack.
That really is pretty.
Green. And this is that yarn that was on clearance and nobody wanted from Louisa Harding, and I love it. I really love it. Very soft. And this white was I don't even remember what it's called, but it's Angora.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a real nice Angora, so it's kind of soft.
Very nice.
Yeah. So that's one of my home projects. And because of all this, I decided I can finally cast on a new project.
So
I've been
did
really
you?
Good. I did. I didn't bring it because I cast on the summer canoes.
Okay.
With the Remix Light. And I restarted 3 times.
Oh my God.
First of all, I started going and I realized I forgot a row of increases.
Oh,
I had
bad.
it on my iPad, not on paper.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit that was below the edge.
Shoot.
And I didn't know I wasn't at the bottom of the page. So I went down, went to the top of the next column. And then it's like, I don't have enough stitches. So I had to rip it
figure it out.
And then I got that far and I got the stockinette part done. I started doing the ribbing section. I was like, I don't like the gauge. And I didn't do a gauge swatch. So, I mean, I tested that I had the right stitches per inch according to the gauge the pattern called for.
Yeah, but you didn't like your yarn at that
I didn't
gauge.
like that fabric, no.
I get that.
So I took it all apart again, and now times 3, I have the right increases, and I went down a needle size. It calls for a 6 and an 8, and
Wow.
that's only a sport to DK yarn. So now I'm doing it on a 7. It looks fine on a 7, but a 8, it was just way too loose.
What size? What yarn?
It's the remix, and it's a sport to DK.
Yeah, no way would I want that on an 8.
Yeah.
Oh no, ick.
I mean, they want it open for summer, but still, it was too open. So it looks good though now. It's size 7, which is 4.5 millimeter.
That's pretty
And I'm
good.
using my new Lantern Moon needles I just bought.
Okay.
I ordered the whole interchangeable set.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Oh,
Oh my God, Joanne, you're spoiling yourself.
yeah. Well, aren't I supposed to?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And the last thing I'm working, well, not the last. Another thing I'm working on is still my burra cowl for the knit along. We're doing a knit along with the 8 total podcasts. So this is as far as I got. I just started my 3rd repeat here with these blue diamonds.
Okay.
So that's where I am. Not that much further than last time, but I'm doing a little at a time.
So have you decided 3 or 4?
No, I'm going to decide when I'm done with 3.
Okay.
And then I'll hold it around my neck and then I'll decide.
That makes sense. Okay.
So what did you bring to show us you're working on?
First thing I brought is my scarf. It's this big skein of Yowza. So they are about 540 yards on the skein. And this is going to be a scarf.
Is that 200 grams then?
No,
40?
I don't think do I have the label? I do have the label. So there, it's Yowza, and it's 560 yards, which is about 8 ounces.
Oh, okay. They're by ounces. Okay.
Yeah, Miss Babs does it by ounces. So this is a pretty mindless knit now. Has this great, oh, how can I show this? Zigzaggy texture to it, and I love it. And so
It almost looks like feather and fan,
but it
except
doesn't have lace.
the holes.
Yeah, it doesn't have the eyelets. So, and you start and you knit the bottom triangle there. So, and then to get up to your stitch count. So I started here and then got up to about here. And then now I'm knitting on the bias.
Okay.
And so I don't know how many repeats I'll end up with, but a lot of them. Probably 12, 24 row repeats, because there's one repeat is 24 rows. So I'll have, I think, 12 of them. And then you do the other triangle. And it's all about, you weigh your yarn, so you know.
Okay. You know how much your triangle weighed?
My triangle weighed. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm working on that. This is my I don't want to think project, because this requires no thought now. You know, other than counting, I suppose.
That's how my soundtrack is. Once you split for sleeve sweaters,
Yeah.
are really
Well, see,
easy.
I mean, here's my. It's about half. Not quite.
It's still a nice size.
Yeah, it still is, but this has been doing good, eating yarn pretty good.
Okay.
So I estimated 12 repeats. If I may end up with a 13th. Personally, I want a 13th because I like odd numbers. You know, it's just weird. So I'm working on that. So, but then when I want to think, then I am working on Star Wars. Ta-da! Goes from, cast on here. This is the dark side. And, you know, we've got all these cool Star Wars. We got a lightsaber, Bantas, X-Wing fighter, blaster, Boba Fett, another ship. I don't remember what this one's called. And we've got some words. I don't know what the words say. They're in Star Wars language.
Oh.
Ryan will know. I don't care. I just am knitting the pattern, whatever. And then, of course, this is the light side. It is, you know, mirrored, double knitting. So. But this is 1/3 of the charts.
Okay.
So
there's no repeats?
No repeats.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 1/3 of it.
Cool.
So it's 3 pages, 9 and 8.5 by 11 pages, 11 inches, 3 pages long of that. There are 2 of them are 172 rows, and 1 of them is 175 rows. And so this is just into this, the word section here is the very beginning of chart 2.
Okay.
I wasn't going to do this section. I was struggling with the words because I wanted to do something else, because some other knitters on Ravelry had done some wonderful modifications, and I thought, oh, that'd be so cool. And I was frustrated because it wasn't turning out the way it's supposed to, and I really, quite frankly, did not have the brain power to think it all through, because I want this done. Well, it's either going to be for his birthday, April 19th, or it's going to be May the 4th. More likely May the 4th. I don't think I'll make the 19th on this anymore. And that's because this words were just giving me fits. So what I decided to do is that this is my very first double knitting project. And seeing as though it's my very first project, to knit it per pattern where I don't have to think about the chart being different from one side to the other, I thought, you know what, just knit the stupid thing the way it was written in the first place. And then when you have this insane desire to do double knitting again, take the time to figure it out, to get it different. I'm really okay with that.
Okay.
I mean, I just, it was one of these things where I was really trying to do something very, very cool. And while I still think what I was trying to do was very, very cool, I didn't know enough about what I'm doing. It's kind of like learning to knit on a colorwork cardigan. Are you an idiot or what? So I wasn't going to do that.
Okay.
So I'm very happy with the way this is turning out. I mean, both sides look like it's supposed to.
Yep.
And I'm very proud of that.
Good.
The first one that I ripped out, there were errors. I made a mistake on reading a chart. And this
the
one
gauge was too loose,
well,
right?
the gauge was awful. That's why I ripped it apart. But there were, and I was going to get over the errors where I made the mistake on the chart. Well, this one doesn't have any errors.
Good.
So I'm all good with that.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. Next, after I get done with the words, then there's, I think some other ships. I know a Millennium Falcon is in there, and then the Death Star. And I can't wait to knit that Death Star. So I'm really excited. So now that I wrapped my head around what I'm going to do, as far as the words are concerned, I could have just skipped them. I mean, that would have been the other alternative. Just skip them. This thing's plenty long. It's going to be 8 feet long when it's done anyways.
And are you going to put fringe on it?
Nope. I decided not to because it's going to be that long.
Okay.
I mean, I'll have the yarn. I'm not worrying about that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to.
Okay.
I could very easily do that.
Yeah.
Because fringe would work really nice.
I think fringe would be pretty on that.
I think it would. But it's going to be long enough. Although Ryan's tall, so I guess I don't have to worry about length.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, so I'm pretty proud of this thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
very nice.
Yeah, I'm very proud of it. So I've been working on this in the morning when Mala sleeps, because she takes a nap in the morning. She runs around like a crazy dog for about an hour and a half, driving Ron crazy. Poor Ron. And then after he goes to work, she settles down. Now, I don't know, maybe she's learned that this is knitting time, so she better park her butt.
Maybe.
Or that's just when she takes her nap.
It's just a routine that you two have came up with.
Yeah, I don't know, but she's really good so that I can knit on that. And I can work on that hours. And, it engages my mind. So, I have to remind myself to get up.
Okay.
And, so the good news is that I don't use too big of a coffee cup. So that when that coffee cup is empty, I know to get up and go get another one.
Okay. I was watching Knits and Pieces last night. Noelle gets up whenever her Fitbit goes off and says, time to move. So that means she has to get up. So that's
Well,
when she gets
there are
up.
lots of people that do that. Mine does tell me to get up from time to time too. I ignore it. If I'm in a good
mostly do
place.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, if I'm in a good place working on that, I don't really care to get up.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see tonight. I don't know what I'm going to work on tonight. I'm kind of like, ooh, if I worked real good on that scarf, I could get it off, the needles. And I'm always about, product, getting it done. But I'm enjoying this process.
I work on 3 things every night. Always 3 different. I never do one. Like tonight, I'll probably work on the soundtrack, my new summer canoes, and then I have a crochet Scrappy blanket on the side that I'll put 2 rows on.
Yeah, to me, to pick it up for 2 rows wouldn't be worth it.
Oh yeah, it's crochet, so 2 rows is good.
Okay.
And I mean, it's 50 inches wide, so 2 rows takes a while, like a half hour.
Interesting. Yep. Well, if that's, what I could do is when I sit down at night, I could just do a square for my Scrappy blanket. It's just one square. It's an hour's worth of knitting. And that might be, something I could try.
That's what I'm going to do next year I'm going to do the Advent blanket, and it's going to be granny squares is what I'm going to do with mine. I'm going to make 1 square a day, I think.
And it's going to have 24 squares?
No, it's going to use the 24 skeins. Well, I probably am going to do 2 Advents.
Okay.
So it'll be 48, so whenever the yarn's gone. Well, whenever the yarn's gone, I'll have to pick 1 solid to go a last row around and then join.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. I have an Advent calendar at home to use that I really just want to use it. But I don't know what I want it to be.
Oh, did you see the one I sent around?
Yeah, I did.
That petals? That was really cute.
That's not what I want.
Okay.
I don't know what I want, but I know what I don't want.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
There were there was one that was a blanket that was squares, bigger. So you would take like 1 whole mini and start in the center, I believe, and then work your way out. The downside of that blanket, though, is all the sewing together BS. I hate that.
Yeah, because Bobbles and Berries, that podcast, she's doing them where she used 1 mini and made a whole block. Then she only needed, I think, 12 blocks for her whole blanket. And her blocks must have been between 10 and 12 inches.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was the solid kind of granny square, I think hers were. But I mean, you could knit it too.
Well, and Amba O'Brien has a nice pattern out there that has a nice texture design to the square. And I'm leaning towards doing Amba's project or pattern. But I think that calls for just 12.
You have to make sure you have 12 that'll go together. So it has to look like a mini skein set or something. It
is a mini skein set. That's what I have.
You can't just take, like when we do our exchange. That's why I'm doing granny squares, because you can mix them all in then. I'm gonna make like 3 color granny squares.
I hope that people do put some rhyme or reason to them.
Well, but I don't have high hopes.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be whatever scraps they have that they have enough of, they'll be exchanging. We're going to exchange between our own group 10-gram minis, and we're going to put 10 grams in packs of 12, and you can bring to the exchange 1 pack or 2 packs or whatever, and whatever you bring, you take home. So if I take 24 minis in, I'll bring home 24. But I don't have any hopes that there'll be anything besides truly scrappy.
That's probably true.
So, but I am gonna put together, I got a lot of scraps, and I was thinking I could put them together like all my solids or all my speckles or all my striping. I could divide them up.
Well, yeah, and I won't use a self-striping in it, but I will use variegateds and speckles and solids together. But I won't put a self-striping in.
Yeah.
To me, that's just wrong. Because self-striping doesn't belong in that set.
But some people don't care if they're doing like a granny stripe blanket. Self-striping looks just fine.
Oh, in that case, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I said I don't have real high hopes. There might be some in there. I'm just not going to do anything with it till I open them all. I'm not going to use one every day.
Oh, and
I'll open them all and pick out what goes together.
I'm planning on packaging mine so that you can see them all.
Okay.
Because
yeah,
I don't need it to be a mystery thing.
Right, and that's not part of it. We didn't say you have to do that.
Okay.
So, I mean, a Ziploc bag with 12 balls in, that'd be fine.
It's no fun.
Well, I mean,
I'm putting mine. Okay, my idea.
Okay.
I'm putting them in an ornament box.
Oh, okay.
So that every little corner, but it'll be an ornament box that I'm rescuing.
And Dawn says she's putting hers in clear egg cartons.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, same kind of deal.
Okay. We have creative people here, I think. But, yeah.
I think I'm going to put mine in little paper bags. So mine will be mystery.
I don't know.
People rip them apart. It don't matter.
That's true. They will.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
So.
But.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah. So, again, let you know, our physical store is going to close. So, if you want some really good deals, go online now. Come in the shop. Everything in the store is 25% off. I don't think I'll be here past the end of June. If somebody does come along and buy it, you know, that's one thing. Then the store will keep going. But I'm going to be done by the end of June either way.
End of June now.
Yeah, I want to be done by the 4th of July. So I think regular, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. For sure. 4th of July, I want to be done selling all the stuff. I'll take then from the 4th of July till the end of the month to clean up all the fixtures, all the shelving, and just clean the place up.
Okay.
So,
well, yeah, you got to be out of here.
Yeah.
Because you've, did you give landlord notice?
No, I'm going to do that this week though.
Oh boy.
Well, I don't think I have to give more than 60 days.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
It's just that's so final.
Yeah. It is. So.
Oh well.
And I haven't found a good place to do knit-ins yet. That's kind of upsetting me. So there is a slim chance we'll still have a June knit-in here.
Okay.
Even though it might be almost empty.
Well, I think we should.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, yep. So come in for good deals while there's still good deals. Some things seem to be going really fast. The needles, they're going like crazy. People are selling all the needles. We only have one needle set still here. That's a day and night Knitter's Pride. Yeah, all the other needles are going fast. Most of the bags, the project bags, are gone. This past week, we've sold so much fabric. Ton of fabric.
Well, good.
So, yeah. So that's starting to go now. So come in before what you want is gone. I'd say don't hold out.
That's true, because I had this tensing yarn I wanted, and then somebody took it. I can't imagine.
It's all gone
who would
now.
do that. Who would do that?
Gone. So
Yeah. I did that actually. I wanted some Lopi. I took my Lopi.
yeah, you took a basket and went around and got your have-to-gets. And
Yeah, I did that. And I think I might, when I'm here this weekend, do that again.
yeah.
Because there's some other things I know that I want to get.
Yep.
So, all right.
So, yeah.
Anything else?
Nope. Just come in and buy the stuff.
Yeah.
All the stuff.
She doesn't really want to have her garage full of yarn and fabric come end of June.
And I was just thinking, how many totes will I need? Because I don't want to put the yarn just in my garage.
Oh gosh, no.
I have to put that in plastic totes, and I want it to be all clear plastic totes.
So it's easier to find.
Yeah.
And you have to inventory it as you put it in so you know where the hell it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll have to do all that. I'm going to put the fabric in plastic bags. I have enough of those. But I don't know how many totes
We'll
I'll
wait
need
and see
to
what
buy.
happens.
I'll probably start out with 20 big ones, and that probably won't be enough.
Oh no, we need to.
Maybe we
unload.
will sell a lot, but I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well,
So,
we'll talk to you in 2 weeks and let you know.
yeah, okay.